So today I will present you the outcome of a research that has been ongoing for 3 years by now, which is about the role of pan-European projects in promoting innovation within the fashion tech sector. So I am Chiara Di Lodovico. I am PhD candidate at Politecnico di Milano Design Department, and I'm dealing with PhD research on fashion tech, specifically wearable technologies, but I am, since my master degree, really interested in understanding how emerging technologies are really changing the value chain of the fashion sector in multiple ways. Then my co-authors are Chiara Colombi, Associate Professor at Politecnico di Milano Design Department, and Anna Roncia, Course Director, Master Strategic Fashion Marketing course in UAL, London College of Fashion. So the paper we worked at aims to assess the drivers and challenges of the European fashion tech entrepreneurial ecosystem and to advance the understanding of the role of these pan-European projects, boosting European competitiveness and innovation potential. And let's remember that we also talk about sustainability because economic sustainability is a crucial point for the competitiveness of the European organizations. We do this by looking through the lenses of a European project we collaborated at during the last 3 years. So the paper is mainly divided in 4 sections, 5 including the conclusions. The first part is dedicated to understanding the transdisciplinary nature of fashion tech. So we went through knowledge exchange and collaboration as the basis of this emerging phenomena. Then I will present you the pan-European project defined as a way of building an ecosystem that fosters collaboration. The methodology we use to assess the impact of this pan-European project is based on an inductive approach and participatory research strategy. The results I will present you are related to 2 fundamental facts. One is the perceived impact of a mentoring program to which has participated 27 companies, startups, fashion tech startups, and also the recommendation to improve the support to these businesses in order to really give them the ground to foster the innovations. First of all, let's talk about fashion and technologies. So fashion and technologies are intertwined. It's a long history of improvements and really mutual influential innovations. We come from the first industrial revolution, where the introduction of water and steam powered engines really fostered the production and the manufacturing of yarn, and then the second industrial revolutions followed with electrically powered means of production, and this allowed to lower the cost of raw material and to really build the system for wider consumption of fashion and textile and apparel items. With the third industrial revolution, with electronics and ICT, empowered also not only the production manufacturing side, but also it allowed a stronger connection between brands and consumers. What we are witnessing now is the emergence of the fourth industrial revolution. This revolution is not about just emerging technologies, as we are seeing here in the screen, but it's the combination of many of these technologies that are...
Lara, you're not changing slides. Do you want to be changing slides? Just double checking.
I am here in the emerging technologies slide with the icons.
On the screen, we see slide number 1.
Okay. I will.
Okay, perfect. Now, yes.
Yeah, I will briefly come back to show you what we have lost. So, okay, here we are. So these are the three parts. This is a slide about the advancements of the industrial revolutions in combination with fashion. And here we're talking about Industry 4.0 and emerging technologies. Can you see it right? With the icons? Is the right slide?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so the fact here with the fourth industrial revolution is that all these technologies are really disrupting the way we live, we consume, think about the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, or also cloud computing, or the way augmented, mixed, and virtual reality are currently and will affect the evolution of many industries, not only fashion. Also digital fabrication technologies, robotics, biofabrication. So we deal with fabrication tools, but also really cyber physical systems, let's say phygital systems that are disruptive the system, the fashion system. We intend fashion tech as a complex, fragmented, and pervasive phenomena that leverage on all the technologies that I showed you and takes part from really different disciplinary domain. We deal with design, behavioral and social sciences, digital product design, technology and engineering, but also natural sciences, business management, humanities, arts, and fashion design. So there are a lot of attempts to frame this fashion tech phenomena, but since it's a really dynamic and ongoing one, its boundaries are constantly redefined and experiences are shared and explored. Digging into the fashion tech phenomena, we realize how collaboration is key for its innovation potential. So we mapped, this is an initial attempt that will continue in the future because we had really great insights from this activity. So we mapped what are the actors that are currently fostering innovation and what kind of combination we are seeing nowadays. We see, for example, Google as tech colossus partnering with fashion colossi like, for example, Levi's or Saint Laurent or Fitbit and Zalando in diverse projects. So we are seeing entering fashion tech colossus in the fashion domain. On the other side, we see academic institutions partnering with tech colossus, for example, accelerating the future of fashion, seeing Microsoft collaborating with LCF to understand how its technology could foster fashion. And then fashion colossus, tech colossus, and academic institution with IBM, Tommy Hilfiger, and FIT. We're also seeing startups collaborating with fashion colossus, with the project, for example, Afterwards, with Balenciaga and the startup Dimension Studio, or making strides competition with the fashion tech startup, The Fabricant, has joined forces with Adidas and also opened up to designers and the public and open competition. So here we're dealing also with open innovation. But then we are seeing also the birth, really few ones, of accelerators within corporates. So we're seeing the tendency of understanding that agile and dynamic innovation could come from the startups. And we've seen Farfetch program Remassembly, but also LVMH program La Maison des Startups. So this is something ongoing that is really interesting to observe. We see also some specific incubators dedicated to fashion tech, which are continuously growing, trying to find the right partnerships to emerge. And at the end, we've seen how Fashion District London has established a city-driven cluster dedicated to fashion tech, where there's not only private sector like startups, SMEs, big companies, but there are also public and governmental institutions as well as fashion and textile associations, investors, and accelerators. So we are seeing how this collaboration is growing, involving as many stakeholders as the needs for innovation grow. Today, I will talk about the Define project, which is like an extension of the fashion district in the sense that it's not city-driven, but is a pan-European project. So it aims to connect academic institutions, incubators and accelerators, fashion and textile association, but also fashion tech startups, SMEs, and investors. So it's a wide network involving many stakeholders that speak different languages. So here we are to the Define project, which is co-funded by the European Commission COSME program. This is a project that started in 2018 and ended in June 2021. And it's called Developing a Fashion Tech Innovation Network for Europe. So what are the challenges that it aims to address? We discovered that there is a lack of network and ecosystem established one that are encouraging this cross-fertilization, that are really niche events on specific thematic fashion tech, but not something really broad and established. And the fact that there is lack of networks and ecosystem reduces the identification of fruitful partners and alliances for the industry's growth. Also, there is scarcity of specific fashion tech knowledge in tech-driven and fashion-driven incubators. It's really difficult to find such cross-sectoral experts that are able to support both domains and the intertwined ones. At the same time, there is lack of understanding from startups and SME how to access funding, where to access funding, when is the right moment, and if it's the right strategy to pursue. And the absence of specialized financiers networks sensitive to fashion tech is a huge problem because they don't have the awareness of the innovation potential, the investment potential of these businesses. So Define started promoting knowledge sharing initiatives with all these people coming together, or specialized training events with specific stakeholders in order to codify common languages and foster more fruitful networking events. Then we had also mentoring sessions with a selected number of startups, and this could allow us to go deeper in the challenges and barriers they are tackling right now. And also with the mentoring program, which lasted 8 months per each startup, we had the chance to, with trial and error approach, to identify the best strategies in order to model some recommendation for supporting these kind of companies. So we mapped, as you can see in the upper side of the slide, we mapped the actor, we let them interact in physical, digital events. So the mentoring program selected 27 startups from AI-powered stylists to customized bra empowered by also here artificial intelligence, to systems for yarn innovation like Studio Hilo, in which there was the development of an open source machine, or also wearable technologies for wellness and well-being. There were really diverse companies exploring the different aspects of fashion tech. And we started with 4 points. So we wanted to offer lead supervision, technical mentoring, business management mentoring, and investment readiness mentoring. What we discovered that all these fields gave birth to a series of other support teams that we didn't expect it. So we have seen how these then unpacked in executive coaching. So the importance really of dealing with soft skills of entrepreneurs. And then the introduction to relevant industry players and clients in order to validate ideas and to speed up the scaling of the technology. But then the technical mentoring was from hard to software, from really the fashion domain, how to deal with industry experts of this field, to improving data collection processes and the accuracy of technology. So it was really wide. Business management, intellectual property protection, and financial strategies were the biggest deal of this mentoring program. Also because we, during the halfway the project, COVID-19 arrived, and the project needed to stop all the one-to-one meetings and to go for digital meetings and remote meetings. So also it was something that the companies needed, like more intangible support on business strategy, but also the conditions have driven all of us towards that direction. The methodology we used in this paper to understand what are the challenges, the drivers, and the recommendation are based, as I said, on a participative research strategy involving all the stakeholders that have taken part in the project and identified the key ones that could offer the greatest insights. So we conducted 21 surveys, 14 polls, 30 semi-structured interviews, and 10 snapshot interviews, observation, and case studies. And we analyzed all this data through data triangulation, thematic analysis, and multi-stage coding processes. The results. So what is the perceived impact of the mentoring program on the company's evolution? We realized that this perceived impact was on soft skills and hard skills. So on one side, we have seen how talking with mentors from such diverse domains, dealing with really coaching and technical mentoring and strategy, gave the opportunity to the startups, the fashion tech startups, to foster an improved engagement with their company and also with the customers that were dealing with the solution they were proposing. Also trust building, team building, and the importance of reputation were something he enhanced and tackled during the mentoring sessions. And networking has emerged as key skills for the development of such collaboration, of course. There was a point related to the awareness and the importance of key performance indicators. This was identified as a key skill in order to better communicate the status of the company and communicate confidence of the company validation and process validation. On the hard skill sides, we have a lot of insights. So 70% of the businesses that participated in the program said that they made long-term strategic changes. So this was a huge impact for an 8-month program, Europe-wide 8-month program that has been almost all developed remotely. The skills were improved both in fashion tech and fashion tech knowledge, and mostly into entrepreneurial skills. Companies also said that business awareness, methodologies for business, and improved processes and solution were something that they developed the most. As we are seeing, we are dealing with fashion tech, but business is really much present here. So also the sustainability of the business and the strategy is really key to innovation. And then what we offered that was not easy to find elsewhere were information about funding. So there was a specific part of the program dedicated to training investors to understand the specific value of investing in fashion tech, training startups in understanding how to present themselves to investors, and creating pitch sessions where both actors could could talk and could explore collaboration opportunities. And this initial phase of setting a common language was really needed in order to make them talk and understand each other. The results related to the recommendations to improve the support are 5. It's all about networking, because we are dealing with collaboration, and collaboration is not something easy to start and easy to foster without really grounded foundations, let's say. So there's the need for accessible fashion tech industry-wide event. Accessible means that should be provided the most accessible as possible, as being a European project. One of the key facts about the participation of Stakeholder to it was all really accessible to everyone, because all the events were free to charge. So this is some of the financial resources that these companies have, and the limited time. We really overcame these challenges, offering this wide series of events that were really accessible to anyone. So these events could facilitate informal connections and bypass the need for a specific introduction to players, and would enhance social capital, build trust, and break down common barriers. We will see how in a minute. The involvement.
Chiara, you already exceeded your time, so try to wrap up your presentation in maybe
there's one last slide.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Okay. So the involvement of stakeholder with networks, as we said, to build connection, and these players are also identified by the European project Define. The mentoring session should be really one-to-one focused, so there's not one solution fits all. The right amount of resources and the tailored support need to be really dedicated, assessing the technology readiness level and the business readiness level of startups and SMEs. Finally, peer-to-peer learning activities. So we have on one side peer-to-peer learning, on the other side matchmaking with industry experts. So we are seeing that networking is not a general topic, but there are diverse ways of fostering networking and collaboration, and each way of networking opens up a new benefit for the participants. Finally, empowering collaboration is one of the most effective ways to drive fashion tech innovation. It needs to be really well designed, and if it's combined with institutional and cross-sectoral stakeholders, there is a way of building an ecosystem that is hard to replicate without all these precious actors and players. Thank you.